We got an absolute banger of a video for you guys today. For all Ryzeal lovers out there, I have been in the laboratory and I've been testing Pure Ryzeal a lot for you guys to determine what is all the new attention on Pure Ryzeal. It is more played than Ryzeal Fiendsmith. And this absolute banger of a video for you guys will be 5 duels of Pure Ryzeal, me piloting Pure Ryzeal, the most humble, best Yu-Gi-Oh player in the planet that won a YCS with Ryzeal. So I'm going to show you guys the best way to play Pure Ryzeal and everything you want to know about it. We're going to face all sorts of decks. We're going to play against Malice, we're going to play against Ryzeal, we're going to play against some Rogue, and to see so you guys, is it better to play versions with Tachyon? Is it better to play versions with 25 hand traps? Do you want to play 10 Called by the Grave cards and 15 hand traps? Stuff like that is desires, prosperity, good. I'm going to show you guys everything in this video. Consider this video a one-stop shop of every single interaction of Ryzeal you could ever possibly imagine. So let's get straight into this video, my Ryzeal friends. And throughout the video, I'm also going to explain if I think you should be playing Mitsurugi Ryzeal or Fiendsmith Ryzeal or just pure Ryzeal and benefits and downsides of each of them. Before we get into this video, if you guys love Ryzeal and want to learn it at a true specialist level, I have my Ryzeal Masterclasses down below. My Fiendsmith Ryzeal Masterclass, my Pure Ryzeal Masterclass, and my Mitsurugi Ryzeal Masterclass. I do believe that Mitsurugi Ryzeal is the best version of all Ryzeal because it does everything Pure Ryzeal does. It could side into Pure Ryzeal entirely and have 26 hand traps going second, but it also has the absolute best go first turn, and whenever you're going first, you have the highest ceiling, so it does the best of both worlds, like Hannah Montana. So let's get straight into this video. Pay close attention. It's probably going to be a long one. Let's go. This is actually one of my favorite things to do. Looking back at my replays, seeing how I performed. If you look at my hand here, I have an Ice Ryzeal, I have 3 hand traps, and a crossout designator. Now, one of the biggest reasons why I think Pure Ryzeal is well shaped for this meta is that you're able to pair your Ryzeals with like 10 Call by the Grave cards to make them resolve all the time. So if he were to stop my Ice Ryzeal, I have crossout designator to stop it if I needed him, but preferably, obviously, you would use it to stop the duo drive or to negate your duo drive. You recognize I sent a duo drive here. Some lines, I depend on the situation if you're going first or second or if you know what you're playing. It is always nice to have duo drive, have a negate afterwards. Because I have crossout designator, if I don't have a way to stop their hand trap, like if I don't have Book of Moon or crossout or Called by or something along those natures, I would typically send Twins of the Eclipse because I'm just going to go ahead and assume my duo drive is getting negated. So whether it has, if I have Book of Moon, it's also probably the same thing because it's set, so it doesn't really matter, but I'm assuming it's getting negated, right? Like if I have Called by or crossout, it's different, but if duo drive does get negated, I don't want the duo drive in my grave. I would prefer Twins in the grave. So, but however, if I know I can negate the one hand trap they might have on the duo drive, having 3 materials on duo over 2 is quite good, and you can always remake a Twins anytime you like. So it's pretty niche scenario when you send each. It kind of differs. You recognize Dugaris. In my line with this deck with 10 Called by the Graves, I actually always go Dugaris because especially if I have a dead Fualos or a double of a hand trap, especially that. You're gonna recognize now I'm gonna go Node, send the sword, I'm gonna cross after that, and you're gonna recognize at this point there are 6 non-engine, no follow-up, and I don't get a draw. I have some reasoning on this. Sometimes you're gonna draw into a follow-up. That's good. Typically you should end on a follow-up. Out of these 6 cards, preferably I would have enjoyed to have 1 Ryzeal. Knowing that I had 2 draws from Dugaris and a draw from Cross, 3 cards to draw, there's a high chance I'm drawing a Ryzeal. So I went ahead and took that chance. I ended up not seeing it, but I did not care. I'm gonna go Detonator, I'm gonna use the effect, and you're gonna recognize no Twins of the Eclipse. I don't care. And on Twins of the Eclipse or not, it's irrelevant. I'm gonna explain why. It sounds a little crazy, okay? But the way that my opponent is not, like, this is enough interruptions to stop my opponent. In fact, there's a high chance even the only way he outs this board is specifically if Metatronus resolves or if Ultimate Slayer resolves or Talents resolve it. Talents will never resolve with Crossout Designator. Tronus is never resolving with that. Well, Tronus is not even stopping Twins. Like, Twins is only live through Talents. The breakers like Metatronus and Slayer stop Twins from even being live. So Twins, I just drew 2 cards for free with Dugaris. The Fualos was totally dead. So Dugaris, I could have got Twins instead, right? But I have dual drive as a negate. This is as 3. Like, you don't need the Twins every time. The only time Twins is live is literally when it's Talents. But Tronus and Slayer bounce the detonator, making Twins obsolete and not even live. Makes sense? So when you have crossout as well, you could use on the Talents. The Twins is useless, literally. Gonna nib there. I had an extra crossout. I could have very easily cross negate to save a crossout designator, but I'm intending to use all of these negates negates if needed. And I would like to save as many materials as possible because of all these hand traps, my follow-up might need to be dual drive search. That's my reasoning. You obviously scoops. I had 4 sets. There was nothing they were doing. And there was all obviously a scare factor with the 4 sets. That was obliteration. What are we playing against? It is, we always see so far is a Fiendsmith card. Could be Fiendsmith Ryzeal, could be Fiendsmith Malice. I love Fiendsmith Malice. It's actually what I took to the YCS Salvador when we finished top 8. Our only loss was literally top 8. Yep, looks like Fiendsmith Malice here. Fiendsmith Malice is obviously extremely scary, especially in a blind side. I do not know what we're playing against. We have Droplet, Talent, Book of Moon. So let's see how this is going to go against them. But typically when Fiendsmith Malice has this setup, it's over. Doesn't matter what breakers you have because they're going to drop 5 times right now. Ew, they play TB11? That's ugly. Remove TB11 from every Malice Fiendsmith deck. TB11 is absolutely unnecessary. What? You suck, bro. What the heck? What? That's all you did? Huh? You suck, bro. Okay, sorry. I love Fiendsmith Malice. We took this to top 8. We lost literally our one match was in top 8 that we lost. We won everything else. This, you should have drawn a whole lot more. This combo you have here was Ransom, search another underground, Cat, draw another 2, a bow, SP, a bow, draw a whole lot more. Like, this is a very minor combo. However, Book of Moon obviously is not great against this deck. Let's see what we can do against it. I'm gonna try to Exiton as soon as humanly possible. I'm counting as it goes on. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Here, I actually view this as a misplay. I should not have used Sword Effect. If I didn't use Sword Effect, obvious I was going for Exiton, if that makes sense. Like, if I didn't use Sword Effect there, that's like, obviously he's about to get Exiton, you know? Also, there might be an Imperm set. No, I think I knew one of them, right? Yeah, we knew one of them. But great play I could do as well here is I could just make search X. It'll be the exact same count. Sounds horrible, but I think it could be good. Make Exiton. I Droplet, send Talents for nothing. No, then he'll just chain this because I don't send him. Maybe Droplet, send X Ryzeal. You cannot respond with Cryptor, and then but then he'll use a trap and then use Cryptor. It's not a very good play. But I probably should use Sword, not search X. But I'm gonna search X anyways. I'm obviously gonna go for that line, but Detonator is always very good, especially now with the Frack going second, because if he opts to use Cryptor, I could pop anything, and if he I could pop a trap, and if he changes the trap, I pop the other trap, so that kind of works in my favor. This duel still, we can still do a lot of stuff. If you guys notice a cool play here, because we use Ice Sand, we have Exiton, and Exiton will not destroy the Detonator, so he's gonna use Cryptor effect here. This is fine for us because we're able to have non-engine going second and Talents. I say no response, which is fine because Exiton will get rid of the traps, and anytime he uses the trap, it's just gonna set anything he does immediately. Exiton is obviously amazing in Ryzeal because of this. None of these traps will have any value whatsoever. So he's gonna use Cryptor to vanish. I could Detonator pop itself. Maybe I should have done that. So that's one minor thing I should have done, just to have Detonator engraved to make it easier make twins better, but that's fine. I Talents to look at his hand. There's Nibiru, Lurie, Paradise. Nice deck. That shows me there's no Paradise. I also thought something was amiss when they didn't lock him early. That showed me that there was literally no Paradise. That gives us in a very advantageous position. If you went a bow, you could have sent the Paradise. He definitely should have gone a bow, but he should get the Fiendsmith Malice Masterclass if we ever release it, which we never will. And then that gives me Node, send Exiton, Special Sword, get a 3 material Detonator, and that gives me Detonator, Book of Moon, and Droplet, which is obviously broken. I'm gonna pop that because I want them to have as little monsters as humanly possible. Draw a Solemn Strike. This is still gonna be a grind game, even though I broke the full Fiendsmith Malice board. I was gonna summon into Droplet. I do have a Twins here, so this is very good, obviously, because I could Twins resummon. What I'm gonna do here is gonna use Sequence Effect. I'm gonna chain Detonator to pop it, and then I'm gonna chain Droplet, sending Detonator, negating and popping, triggering my Twins to resummon my Detonator. Obviously, that's awesome. I'm gonna use that, attach, and now we're talking. I draw Cross, which is actually a very good draw because I'm able to basically replace itself and have a negate. However, it wasn't like I would much rather just draw any Ryzeal card, obviously. So I still have Book, Detonator. This duel's not over yet because the Fiendsmith follow-up is just so damn good. So I do gotta be careful with that. I don't know, he has a strike, obviously. I'm gonna go Cross, draw, but Cross is still very good. If I could draw Ryzeal here, that's even more broken. I draw Ogre, it's fine. This was a blindside after all. This is gonna be pretty close. I cross the Lacrima. Obviously, I don't want Sequence on field. Draws White Rabbit, which is broken. And now you see, like, I might not even win this game right now. I'm gonna go Effective Engraver. I'm going to pop Detonator so I can bring back the Detonator, getting hit with the crazy Solemn Strike. I'm gonna go Book of Moon on the Engraver, which was, I did not want him to go into Requiem. I don't want Requiem in rotation. Then he normals that. I chain Ghost Ogre on the Rabbit because I do not want him to chain that later. I know he's gonna summon MTP. This puts him in a scenario now where he has nothing. I know this is Paradise. I know there's, like, Lacrima can bring back nothing. There's no line now. There's literally, simply, I have 2 draws. I need to draw any single Ryzeal, and the duel's over. So I can draw. This is why I hate Talents in this deck, by the way. I despise Talents in this deck because this deck either draws has a Ryzeal or it doesn't. And when it doesn't have a Ryzeal, you need to stall your opponent with actual interactions. And then Baldrick's obviously game. Like, it's so close, dude. 4 draws, no Ryzeal. That's okay. We're going first now. Imperm. We're gonna have to deal with Imperm Ash. His hand sucks, but we'll see how he does. Obviously, you're gonna Ash it. I mean, in scenarios like this, Talents is obviously crazy. I get rid of the Rabbit. I know they're gonna have Imperm, but I literally don't care because there's nothing they could do. Sucks for them. This is gonna be a cleanup. I'm gonna get this. I'm gonna let them detonate it if they want. They have Tronus. I'm like, sure. I probably should have Lancia that because if I Lancia the Tronus, I'm not able to banish my detonator. However, you could just summon Typhon if he plays Typhon and get rid of it anyways. So I'd rather just save the Lancia and knowing I have full follow-up. So now we're just dealing with Ash and Imperm. So I special sword with Imperm. I book a moon my sword. I'm like, nice Imperm pal. And now knowing that he's gonna have to Ash my duo drive, and then I just have X Ryzeal. So that's just auto game, obviously. A special node, send that. You get another detonator, bonfire for ice attack for game. I was gonna send my Lancia for trolls. GG. I'm gonna go into the next match here. I believe this is against Ryzeal, I think. Let's get into it. I do not want this to be a 1-hour video, so there's gonna be less pausing for this. We're just gonna go straight into this. And I've been cooking with pure Ryzeal. A lot of my findings is you don't want to play Pot of Desires. I much prefer Pot of Prosperity because you only have a finite number of Ryzeals. Because you only have a finite number of Ryzeals, you want to win the grind game. So you lose a grind game with it. And your grind game with 10 Ryzeals in deck is very good when you draw them. So I'm gonna go obviously the Chilling 1, X Chilling 2 Aggregator, allowing X to resolve, forcing him to Imperm. This still negates the Baguska. Let's go Bonfire and win the game here. I'm gonna look into his hand. He has a Veiler. Sure thing, dude. Like, this is just auto game. Yeah. Another thing I really like about Ryzeal is it's truly not a dice roll with Ryzeal. Whether you go first or second, it's almost irrelevant. He does not use a Veiler at any time, which is actually very good because I can't talent him. This duel's not over yet. He could win. He very easily win this. Goes cross out Designator on cross, which is very good. I'm gonna go normal ice. I'm gonna pop it with Aggregator so I can negate the sword. Next, we're gonna go first. We're gonna Perulia draw phase. He straight up passes. He also bricked, so that makes sense. Classic Ryzeal. He does not need to set the Solemn. Good job. You have the Perulia. He's gonna go Perulia. I'm gonna go Bonfire. We got ice. There's a world here where I also pass because of Fua. Like, him passing on Perulia, I really think that just means he bricked because I would still prefer getting Ryzeal follow-up. I know I'm gonna be drawing, but I would still prefer it. So I go ice. Good thing that I do. He ashes that, it's fine. I go talents. Look at hand. I go to node. Getting rid of node. Okay, this was a misplay. 100%. Should have got rid of Solemn Judgment or Ash Blossom because Ash will stop the Eclipse. Solemn will be big as we play. That was an error because node obviously doesn't do shit. But my concern of that was if you drew X, he'll stop. Like, I X the first thing. If you drew X, I eclipse the ice, then you just special node. So, but now with ice, like, this is just not an advantageous position. I Desires hoping he Ash Blossoms so my eclipse would be live. Like, I'm trying to get him to stop it. Like, I could have also saved my Desires for 3 pushes, but there's nothing I could do there. Another Solemn, like that's just game. Truth, there's nothing I could have done anyways. Even if you had the node, if I got rid of the Desires, I still lost. So there's still a losing game. This version is different from my real version. I ended up cutting all the Solemns for books, but Solemns are still incredibly high value in this deck going first because whether you get stopped or not, Solemns are crazy. You can do Solemn on a Link 3 on Malice. It goes absurdly high value. You Solemn a Detonator. There's a lot of value for it. I love Dugaris in this deck going first. I really do because you're able to basically get rid of a somewhat useless card. And look what this has given me. This has given me an almost unbreakable go first setup. Sometimes with follow-up, sometimes not, but doesn't matter. There's a world there where I Ash the Prosperity. Good play from him and his end to not negate the Detonator because he's able to put up a free level 4 extender. This was all without normal summoning his actual Ice Ryzeal. Gonna summon Exiton, to which I droplet the Exiton. Incredible play because now anything he summons I could Solemn. Now at this point I have a choice. I either Solemn the Ice and pray there's no other Ryzeal. The only other Ryzeal I lose to is X Ryzeal, and that's game. Gonna show another replay here. Forgot what I'm playing. Gonna look at his hand just so we're aware. This is against actual sharks, not even Ryzeal shark. Yeah, he had 1 hand trap. Let's redo that. He had 1 hand trap. I think it was Impulse, and we had 2 extenders. So yeah, we had ice and we had sword. So there's nothing else to Impulse in this deck other than ice. One cool reason I love Mitsurugi, by the way, one of the many reasons I love Mitsurugi Ryzeal is going second. If you side out all the Mitsurugi cards, they're gonna assume you're playing Mitsurugi, so they're gonna end on Dweller. They're gonna still keeping their Bistios. They're gonna go out of their way to stop Mitsurugi stuff. They're gonna save their Impulse for, especially against Malice. I side out all my Mitsurugis going second. I play 27 hand traps against Malice, and then they save their Impulse for my Mitsurugi Ritual. Mitsurugi Ritual is not even in the fucking deck. So then your X Ryzeal always resolves. So yeah, Imperm. This is another reason I love Imperm, where he's Imperm. Sorry, I love Droplet. You could chain Droplet or cards like Econ icon. Drop is just better going second to make your Ice Ryzeal always resolve. Ashes that. I'm going to draw. I negated his sword. We drew fucking nothing. I don't even know why I played Lancia going second. Oh, I saw Impulse. That's why. I saw Impulse. So, of course, you're going to play Lancia going second if all you see is Impulse. Still drew nothing. One of the many reasons I don't like talents at all. Like, you're playing so many hand traps where your opponent will not even activate any monster effects because you're stopping them. Like, your X Rise is going to stop them. I fucking hate talents. Really, I think that card's ass. In Ryzeal specifically. Going first now, we have Bonfire. They have Nib. I would not play Nib against pure Ryzeal unless it's paired with 20 other hand traps that stop dual drive, because you have to assume one of them getting cross-out designated. Like, what's his Nibiru gonna do? Look, this is a prime example. Like, unless you're playing literally 20 hand traps, then Nib pairs very well, because you need 2 hand traps to stop dual drive. Obviously, cross-out will stop one of them. And then when 2 of your hand traps stop dual drive, then when the Nibiru does nothing under cross. So, nice deck. Lugaris, draw. Look at this setup, bro. Node, send, resend, detonator, 5 cards in hand, go. Bro, GG, dog. Can I ask you nicely? You don't? I'm like, no problem, but he accepted anyways. That was a fast one. Gonna go on to another one here. This is, how late is it in Canada right now? Early enough to 2-0 you. He fuwas us draw phase, to which we called by. I would not have done double fuwa, bruh. That was a huge misplay. I do have talents. Okay, obviously, that's why I did it. But you have double fuwa. Going first without cross, like, you have to assume in a blind game mode, I'm not even playing cross-out. Bro, you have double fuwa. Do not drop that shit in draw phase. You wait. If you drop fuwa in draw phase, I could very much potentially pass. Your hand has a precise amount of 0 plays. You need to fucking draw. So if you wait for me to do a play, my first play in this hand obviously is normal ice. Oh wait, he passed to me. Oh, I understand. He went first and passed. I have 6 cards in my hand. That's what happened here. He went first and straight up passed. Well, that's gonna make this super easy. I go Bonfire here to search for X, to obviously play around, like him dropping the Fua immediately. Obviously, I'm going to play around the Fua now that it's already dropped. If I didn't know he had Fua, I'm dropping Ice Ryzeal immediately on, like, Ice Ryzeal effect. To which, in that scenario, he could go train 1 Fua. Obviously, I'm going to use Called By. And then he's going to use another Fua. So, the Fua is guaranteed to draw. I would have done that for sure in this scenario. But anyways, he goes Ash. I go Talents to draw 2. I should have looked into his hand because he clearly bricked. I could look into his hand and get rid of a starter or a hand trap. Like, you know? I think the reason I wanted to draw 2 is to draw an X or a sword. Because if I did that, I would put him at 1 draw. Like, I would just make Detonator cross. I draw 2. This is my version with, I believe this version is playing double cross, triple desires. I'm dabbling in different versions. One cross is weight, 1 cross, 1 prosperity. You do not need to play plug-in. Plug-in's a nice card, but it's not absurd. I do let him draw because I'm like, yo, I'm just going to kill him, bro. I'm going to put up Detonator with the cross and literally just put up 8,000. Because Detonator, like, I'm going to stop the Nib, right? I go Detonator to attach. He's going to use Saranir. I literally do not give a shit. And this game, Show's game, I had game versus 1 more Nib or Bistio, so it was irrelevant. Twins attacks twice. He just attacked 2 of them. That's game. Yeah. He's going to do a very interesting play. Yeah, he actions my Fua. Lucky. Gonna go Retribution. What you adding? What are you adding, buddy? Yeah, my game froze. I kicked his ass, obviously. That's fucking 2-0. Gonna go on to the last replay here. My game froze because my deck's too cold. Let's go! This is a prime example of why I actually do not like Ryzeal plugin. Doesn't it look ugly to have cross and plugin in our deck? Like, let's say we're going second. Bro, the game's auto lost. You're playing Ryzeal's mid-range. Yu-Gi-Oh! Is not how it was a year ago. You need 20 hand traps in your deck to have a chance going second. If it's not 20 hand traps, it needs to be 20 board breakers. But your highest chance of victory in this meta is with hand traps. So I need plugin to be I need cross to be cross is not good in your hand. Going first, it's okay if you get past to make a duo drive. Going second, cross is awful. You do not want cross or plugin in your hand. So if you don't want them in your hand, why are you playing 2 cross and a plugin? If you don't want to see it in your hand ever, you're playing extra bricks in a deck that already bricks. I would much prefer to stop my opponent from playing, or at least allow me to play. And plugin does not allow me to play. Plugin is a card that is an extender once you get playing, but it's not necessary in the slightest. One thing that I do like about about plugin is you're able to basically not send a Ryzeal immediately. By playing 1 plugin in your deck, you're able to, if duo drive resolves, you search it. You can always play with duo drive with no material to always play around Nibiru. But if duo drive doesn't resolve, plugin just stays in your deck and you have it right. But other than that, reason to play around Nib, but the deck already plays around Nib so well that it doesn't need a plugin. Like, you already play around it without plugin. So it's literally extra. Now I just have a whole bunch of Ryzeals in my hand. I'm gonna go Dweller, and I'm gonna draw. If you recognize this play that I did, I kept the duo driven graveyard, so Twins is live with Detonator in case of talents. So detach from the Dweller if you can to make sure a duo drive will be engraved. I'm praying here that I'm drawing a hand trap. I draw Bonfire. You see how there's so many Ryzeal cards? This is why I literally do not want too many. Like, this is gonna sound so stupid from Mr. Plus Trif Gaming here, but Desires is not a real card. Like, the meta has evolved so much that part of Desires has so much chance of drawing you one dead card always, like an absurd high amount of chance. Not just of Desires, but it has a high chance to search you, to draw you to a Ryzeal and a dead card. You don't if you already have 5 Ryzeals, you don't need it. I would much prefer to search than to draw. It guarantees your line, always. He scoops, clearly Dweller hurt him. I don't know what deck he's playing. I don't want to show you guys until he plays a card. This is a hand that I much more prefer than the last one. Going second. Obviously, we're just going to see one Ryzeal. So mathematically, going second, you have a 93% chance when you can look at 6 cards instead of 5. Mathematically, by playing 13 starters, I did not even cut a sword going second. You have 13 starters. So going second, I have a 93% chance to see a Ryzeal. I still have 6 cards, so it's not over yet. So you gotta follow the math always. Going first, you have an 88% chance to see a Ryzeal. That's good enough for me, bro. As long as the other cards you're playing are enough cards to stop the opponent from playing, and also to make sure you get to play more, like cards like Crossout or Book of Moon, to make sure your play is resolved. I say the rule with Ash Blossom is if they start with Engraver, you Ash Track. If they start with Track, you Ash the Requiem. That is the rule of Ash Blossom, and he passed. I draw the X Ryzeal because, as I told you, you trust the math always, baby. That's why he does it. And your Book of Moon is able to Book of Moon your X Ryzeal if we get hit with Imperm or Veiler. I hope I get hit with Imperm or Veiler here because we Book of Moon it. What happens? He lets it go. Potentially Droll, potentially Fualos, potentially Ash on dual drive, potentially saving hand trap for dual drive. I'm gonna go sword, add ice. We're gonna make the dual drive Fua. All right, not bad. Now, there's a few lines I could do. I could straight up pass. Clearly, I think there's another tracked in hand. If there was another engraver, you could have done something. There's a chance he actually open playable, but I wanted his Fua live, and the only way his Fua is like, there's a chance he lost a singular other hand trap, and my deck plays a lot of hand traps. I think the best line in this scenario, I forgot what I made here. I think it might just be make one detonator. It would not be duo, or it would be dual drive. Well, would it be? I think it would be dual drive because I have 3 hand traps to stop his card. I have 3 hand traps on Book of Moon, so I have 4 interruptions to stop him. Dual drive guarantees I have crazy follow up. Detonator, I'm happy with detonator. Both detonator and dual drive are good, but now that I already have the 1 follow up, Ice Rise is good enough. I go detonator attach duo, and I just have 4 interruptions effect, and he goes auto scoop. Why? He had the Nibiru, my detonator, he knew that Nibiru would never resolve. Ash Blossom was there for dual drive, and he has the Fiendsmith stuff, which would simply lose to this and infinite interruptions, auto scoop. That's 5 games, 5-0. That is my pure Ryzeal. If you guys want to see a deck list on this, you could check out my last video where I showcase the deck list, best way to play Ryzeal. Thank you guys for watching this video. Pen best deck. If you guys want to learn more about this, check out the very high level to win a YCS like I did. Check out the Ryzeal Masterclass is down in the link below. I love you guys. See you guys in the next video. Peace.